All right, it is official. At my big age of 34 years old, I have been professionally diagnosed with ADHD. I don't know if that's like exciting for others, but it's exciting for me because ever since I was in high school, I've been asked or told that I have ADHD. And I remember the first time I was in high school, I was in my hospitality class, and I forget the situation surrounding it, but my hospitality teacher was like, do you have ADHD? And I was like, what is that? And I remember I went home and told my mom, and my mom was pissed. Black people in the mental health, we have come a ways, but we're not all the way there. But yeah, so my mom was pissed. I didn't even know what it was. She's all like, ain't nothing wrong with my baby, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I know, but like, as a whole. And so after that, I pretty much just like shunned the entire ADHD of life. And let's not do that anymore, people. Let's not do that anymore. I literally searched for a therapist specifically to do this diagnosis. I was tired of people telling me or wondering and me not knowing and like taking online quizzes and getting answers, but like not the full answer. And then they want me to pay money. So I was like, if I'm paying anybody money, it's a professional. So we have finally done that. And I am very, very happy to have this known and legitly, and it's literally my entire personality now. I'm like, I have ADHD. Like, I wish I had this a million years ago, because I'm not really, well, that's not true anymore. As a full-grown adult, I'm not into the stigma of mental health or mental disorders. Like, and then I think I wish I had diagnosed well before I was a full-blown adult, was being diagnosed with anxiety and depression. And it's really funny, not funny, how my anxiety and the ADHD work together to just piss me off, it's fine. So I met with my therapist, and that was like day one. I was like, let's get in. She asked me all the questions, and she was like, yeah, you have a moderate level. And I was like, okay, AD or HD. I forget what the terms are. The acronym stands for. And she was like, moderate. And I was like, so there's no or? She's like, there's an and. And I was like, great. And if you don't know, there are like two types of ADHD. There's like the inattentive and the hyperactive. And then there's the inner hyperactive attentive, like me. Like, and I think it's so funny going through the symptoms. Cause like, even when I was like taking these tests, I'm like, yeah, it happens, but not like all the time. I think I just didn't want, because on the online test, they're like always to rarely. And I would always just put my shit in the middle but when I was with my therapist, I actually got to like talk through it with her. So that's how I just feel so good. I feel so good. But with the inattentive category, it'll be like trouble paying attention, trouble following directions, trouble following through, shy or withdrawn behavior. I'm going to tell you these, and then I'm going to tell you one, like how it affects me, because me. Appearing disorganized or careless, and then slow to process info. So that's type 1, inattentive. Type 2, hyperactive, is like trouble paying attention, restlessness, impulsive speech or actions, excessive talking, loud interactions with others, and difficulty waiting turns, like frequent interruptions, overactive, and a quick temper. And it's the quick temper where I think that the ADHD and the anxiety coexist. But when it comes to moi and of these types, I feel like they all relate a little bit, but like seeing it, hearing it, like these are like my mains. When it comes to the inattentive, I will definitely agree with trouble paying attention. Is it following directions? Like I think I can follow directions. Maybe I can't. Trouble following through, that's the procrastination. Easily distracted, definitely. I go through lengths to appear organized. I don't think I'm disorganized. No, I'm not accepting that, even if it's true. I'm not accepting it. Rejection, because I go through lengths to be as organized as possible. But the procrastination of it all is like, they like hit heads. No matter how organized I am, is the follow through there? No. Slow to process info? What kind of info? And I really like the way my therapist described it. She said it's like a dimmer switch. ADHD is like a dimmer switch. And like, I'm guessing this is the inattentive part. Yeah. Okay. So the dimmer switch. The dimmer switch on inattentive is down. And then the dimmer switch on hyperactive is up. All right. So in the hyperactive category of Taylor-Bridgeforth, we have trouble paying attention. Yeah. If it's not lighting, it's not retained. And I think that was a problem with me and working corporate, because there's a lot of attention that you have to pay attention to in the corporate world. And I hated it. And I would get so sick. And I'm like, this sucks. And everyone's mad at me. And I'm like, well, I'm not enjoying myself, but I have to do it. And I'm just like, why is this so hard? Like, yes, it's boring, but like, hello, it's getting me a chance to pay my bills. And my ADHD is like, we don't care. This is the worst thing we could ever be a part of. So, can somebody Google what restlessness means? Hold on. Okay, restlessness is like the inability to be still or relax or be quiet because like you're bored or you're worried or you're in need of a change. And I think the restlessness has to deal with life, and I'm actually talking with Azaria about that right now in life, and how we're working and we're waiting for the payoff, and how long and hard can you work without any payoff and without throwing up? That happens to me sometimes. I'm like, whoa, did I literally just complete all this and feel like I have nothing to show for it? But then again, you have to accept life and just, I don't want to say wait because that's sickening, but like accept life, and I guess you keep working while life catches up, because one of my author goals just became a reality that I will talk about later, because it's not like here, there, everywhere yet. And I'm not usually this kind of person. I just want to make sure this thing happens before I spew it out to the world. I have told people, because excessive talking. The impulsive speech, like it's crazy. I feel like the impulsive speech and frequent interruptions kind of go one and the same, because like I'll be having a conversation, even with myself. I will interrupt myself with something else, and then I will also interrupt others. But I would always try to go back and be like, sorry, cut you off. Please continue. Or what I'll be like, because I know that I will lose whatever train of thought I have, I'll be like, oh my God, let me say this real quick before I forget. And thankfully, usually that gets me to say my piece, and then we go back. Unless they have ADHD as well. And then we're just like, what was it we were saying? But yeah, that's a heavy one. The frequent interruptions and excessive talking. I'm not entirely sure what loud interactions with others mean. Like, are we yelling? I'm a nix that one. I'm a nix that one. Difficulty waiting turns. Difficulty waiting. I don't enjoy waiting. I'm gonna have to think more on that. Difficulty waiting. Because it's like, I know I don't like to wait, but I'm also not gonna like burn the house down because of it. I remember I was recently in line and there was a guy in front of me just like, oh my God, y'all taking forever, da da da. And like they were, but like, what is that supposed to solve? So like, I wasn't about that life. Also, that's why you should always have a book. Overactive. I wish it was over physically active. Good times, good times. But like overactive in the brain chemistry, I guess, because like I'll think of something that I want to do and then I have to do it immediately. The impulsiveness, that's what they like to say. And then a quick temper. I've been told that literally all my life. And like now I can see it and I try to rein it in, but sometimes it don't work. So that's interesting. And I also don't care. Like, get out of my face. But it is like a baby temper. Like, I'll just be like, oh my God. And then literally my mom, because she's like, you just always have an attitude. And I'm like, I'm about to show you an attitude. I literally just had to exhale of frustration and she'll be like, you're all so mad. And I'm like, what I find interesting about having been diagnosed with ADHD and telling others that I've been diagnosed with ADHD, no matter who or who I tell, it's either one or two responses. They say, are we surprised? Or they're like, babe, I could have told you that. And I'm like, well, technically everyone has. I just, whatever. Or it's like, are you going to get medicated? And I remember in high school, somehow, I am a very well-aged individual, so I can't remember all the specifics. But I remember in high school, I was like on ADHD medication. I don't know if it was Adderall. I don't know what it was. I just remember took it, went to school, and then I was sitting at my Spanish test, profusely sweating. Like, you know that Key and Peele sweat man? That was me. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. Also, medications are expensive. And life is hella expensive. So yeah, medication is not on my current list of things to do. I wish it was, because I actually have a lot of things to do, but you know, the procrastination station has took off and I don't know when it's coming back. So yeah, no, I'm not getting medication. You all were right. Congrats. Great. I was actually just with a couple friends and we were all just chit-chatting and I told them that I have ADHD. And then a friend of mine was talking to us and the other friend was like, Taylor, because I picked up my phone. She was like, Taylor, put your phone down. And I was like, thank you so much. I needed that. If only I could have that all day, every day. Could you imagine? I would get so much stuff done. So much stuff done. And like, I was at a author event last weekend and me and a couple authors were just yik-yakking the day away, going here, there, everywhere. And one of them finally was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I have ADHD. And I'm like, babe, you're fine. You're fine. And it's really funny that people will be like, oh my God, I cannot keep up with her. She, he, they just be all over the place. And I'm like, huh? And it's because I see you. I see you, she, he, they. You're not all over the place. Not with me. Because we, you know? And I really love that. I love that for me. I love that for them. Because, like, hearing that is not great. You're like, wait, what? I thought I was just talking. And like, you are, but like, you're doing all the talking. And like, I get it. I am right there with you. So that is totally fine with me. And I just want to go back to like, Actually, I feel like there was one more point I wanted to make, but I forget. If I remember, I'll do a little something in the description. But the moral of the story, if you have ADHD, if you're wondering if you have ADHD, any thought process on ADHD, you are beautiful and great. This literally means nothing out of the ordinary. It means you're extraordinary. Wait, did that make sense? Nothing. Whatever. I just don't appreciate the stigma. Like, I see online a lot. Like, they're just like, ADHD. And I'm like, not in my house. It is ADHD. So, we're going to flip that script. Thank you.